and welcome back to week 9, the final and last week of the High Insecurity by Insecurity book club, where we're talking about a new standard of living. I have a lot to condense in such a small time, and so I'm just going to dive right in. There's some notes that I sent out, and I'm trying to condense chapter 9 and the exit of the book all into one. But just diving right into the notes that I sent out. Your newly gained revelations come with responsibility. Ignorance is bliss for a reason. Now that you're at the end of the book, and we've talked about whether or not we have insecurities and what they look like and where they've come from, and you've probably been on somewhat of an emotional roller coaster, just like I was writing it, even reading it, even doing this book club. You may be sitting there saying, like, with all of this information that I now have, it's something about truth and new information that initially, like I said, and I've referenced over and over again, it can feel very inconvenient, and it can feel like, now that you know what you know, what do I do? The reality that I have something to do, and ignorance is bliss because it just keeps you from being responsible for certain things. But the truth is, even though ignorance is bliss, the consequences of ignorance is not bliss. And now that you know what you know, you're being challenged within yourself to make some changes. And so the other point that I said, what you know either anchors you or makes you uncomfortable, attempting to remain the same. With everything that you know now, if you try to stay the same, your discomfort level will be so unreal, because now you have a truth that lets you know, like, hey, this isn't just A-okay anymore. Everything that I know is challenging me to make the necessary changes to grow and to change and to really become what I want and to get what I want. Next point, resist anxiety or anxiousness to hurry up and fix yourself. Be patient with you. With everything that you know now, you probably see what your real strengths are, and you're identifying with who you really are, but you're also identifying with the things that need to change in your life, the problems that have probably always been there, the people who have always been an issue. And when you see these things and you've been ignorant to them, and then the reality of how long they've been there there's this sense of, oh my God, I've got to hurry up and fix this sense of anxiousness to get it all together. And I want you to resist this hurry up and fix it, I've got to get it together type of thing. Anything you rush to fix will probably only be temporarily fixed. There will be some incomplete things. And you want to be thorough. You want to be sure. You want to make sure you're not throwing out things that actually need to be there, people that actually need to be there. But you want to really make moves in confidence and peace of mind. All right. So listen, rest easy, no anxiety, do all things in peace, no anxiousness. You hear me? Next point, your healing will require maintenance, which will consist of daily habitual choices and decisions. Next point, mind conditioning is essential to this process. What healing really looks like, we talked about whether or not a cure really exists, but healing is possible. But it's not as simple as one touch to the heart, the mind, somebody prays for you, and then it's all done. Listen, that happens for some people, but the way that God works is He teaches us how to steward things that are in our lives. Anything that He gives us, including our health, mentally, spiritually, relationally, physically, is ours to steward. And that comes with daily choices. Say, for example, if your doctor told you you were diabetic, it's not as simple as, I'm just going to take a pill and it's done and over. No, you actually have to make daily choices to deal with your diabetes or to rid it from your body. So that comes from what you eat every day, whether it's you have to take insulin every day. It is the same way with maintaining your spiritual, mental, and physical makeup. You have to make daily choices habitually, even if they go against what you are used to, what you normally do. This is something that you have to make daily in order to grow and to change. And so all of that comes with how you condition your mind, because all of this starts, remember, I've been saying from day one, go back from the first video to this one, I have been saying from day one, it is what you believe. And you have to condition your mind to believe the right things in order to thrive and to stay focused and to move forward with change. And so if you don't condition your mind, you will find yourself going back. Even when you know, like, this is bad for me, this is a mess, this is a mistake, you'll find yourself going back to wherever your mind is conditioned. And for a lot of us, our mind is conditioned to do the wrong things. That's why we are where we are. So you have to make daily choices in order to get your mind to the place where it can thrive, all right? Also, prepare your heart and mind for the reality that some or all of the changes that you will have to maintain may not be easy. Listen, if you get your mind together now and tell yourself this is not going to be easy, this is going to be difficult, downright hard for some of us, or for some of the things that have to change. If you condition your mind for that, you're also conditioning yourself to fight. If you go into this with this idea that eventually it's going to be easy and voila, one day it's going to be all said and done and you're going to be great. Listen, when you hit your first hurdle or the first moment that feels very difficult, you will absolutely positively revert back and give up. I'm speaking from experience, but it's something about girding up your heart and your mind and telling yourself, you're not going to like this. This is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be difficult, but guess what? You can do it. When it gets difficult and you experience a difficult moment or pushback from what you're trying to change, you have already set your mind to, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. And it's important that you prepare yourself for the fight so that when it comes, it's second nature. You just start to do it. Next, God is the eternal supplement. We've talked about supplementing, and we've talked about making up the difference in the voids, how we typically pick the wrong things to do that. But God is the one that ultimately can make up all of the difference. He is the ultimate supplement because he never leaves if you allow him to stay, if you allow him to be what he really is. He is constantly there. He is a source, and he is the one that looks and says, you know what? I see all of the voids. I see all of the places that need to be changed and filled. Let me do that. He doesn't miss it. It's not like he goes in there and kind of hits or misses. No, he knows what you need. And so if there's anything you need to be adding to yourself, it's him. Listen, he's already in here. He's all inside of us. There's a song that we sing at our church that I absolutely love because it's the truth. It says, and no, let love break down these walls. Let church go past these walls. Your truth is in us all. It's in us all. It's the truth. Listen, his truth is in us. It's in you. It's in people that deny him and don't even know him. It's there. It's inside. And even if they don't know it, it's something about truth that resides in us in a moment where it's needed. It rises up and says, this is the answer. And so that when we talk about God being the eternal supplement, he is the one that makes up all the difference. He's already inside, but it's about you realizing that he's there and the truth that already lives within you and allowing it to come to the surface and challenge everything that's a lie that's trying to come into your life, all right? As you change, you will find that people may be an issue. Listen, I need to settle on this point. Let me change something real quick. As you change, you will find that people will be an issue. For our insecurities, a lot of times when we're insecure, and I want to deal with the chapter where I talked about all of the personality traits of insecurity, you will see that a lot of them have to do with people, because when we are insecure, you can usually find your insecure spots through your relationships or how you relate to others. And if you are the type of person who has used people to deal with your insecurities, when you start to make changes, the people that have benefited from your insecurities will be the first to give you snap back, clap back, and something to say. Because now they're in a position to where they don't directly benefit from you not knowing who you are, you not valuing who you are, and you not seeing what you have to offer. And so, a lot of times, especially if it's family, especially if it's romantic relationships where they've used you for your money or your position or physical things intimately, when you start to say, no, you're not going to take from me and not give back, or I don't really like when you talk to me like that and treat me that way. When you start to stand up for yourself, the people that have taken advantage of your weaknesses, whether knowingly or unknowingly, listen, let me stress this. There are people that benefit from your insecurities and they don't even know that they are taking advantage or manipulating because it just becomes second nature. A lot of times you're guilty of just offering things and not challenging people to have to go get them on their own. And so when you start to see this and you stand up and say, no, we're not doing that no more. People will accuse you of acting funny and being different and who do you think you are? Or they'll try to push back and manipulate you. They'll strengthen the things that used to create access. Listen, be prepared for that. And when you see it, it's okay to sit people down and say, now listen, I know I've been an idiot. And I know you've benefited from me being an idiot. But guess what? All of the money that I've loaned you, I do want it back. Oh, and no, you can't borrow my car anymore. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. No, I will not watch your kids all day long for free. Can't do it anymore. Or, you know what? No, I don't want to have sex with you. I won't do it. And I don't care if you don't want to be my friend if I don't want to do that. Like, listen, all of these things, it's okay to lose people and to lose things because you're standing up for the healthy you. Be prepared for the loss because the loss is actually a gain. Do you hear me? And so, yeah, you may have some pushback. It may be from family. Family is some of the worst people that take advantage. But guess what? If you're doing this from a healthy place and you're getting better, this is good. I know it may hurt. I know you may not like it. But it's good because guess what? It creates room for people to connect with the real you, the healthy you. You'll start to attract through the law of attraction people that are meant to be in your life that will push you, support you, and lift you up. All right? So be prepared for the jokers that kind of have benefited from you being weak to have a problem with it. And you know what you can tell them? Actually, you can take this video and wind it back to the point where I start talking about them and say, I just want you to watch this and let them watch it. Even this part where I'm saying, I want you to watch this so that they can know why, like they can feel real set up. And then when they're done watching it, say, so what you think about that? They probably won't like it, but it's going to be okay because God loves them too. And you know what you can do? You can actually give them my book. You love it. All right. So next, as you change, you will find that people may be an issue. But listen, I want to get to this point because I referenced healing in the book and I didn't elaborate on it a whole lot. But I talked about forgiveness. I did elaborate on healing, but I didn't elaborate a whole lot on forgiveness. You will find as you change and your new standard of living, you will be challenged to forgive people that you've probably held grudges with. Because if you've been in denial about holding grudges or not liking people, somewhere in the course of this book, you realized that you had an issue. Even if it was buried and suppressed very deep, let me tell you something. As you challenge yourself and you work to make these changes, I'm pretty sure you said, wow, I still am mad at mom or dad or husband or ex-husband or wife or ex-wife or my kids or my teacher, my third grade teacher, or the neighbor down the street. I'm still angry. And as you see these things, and if you're serious about change, you will be provoked to forgive. You know, I've heard it said so many times from people, you forgive people because as you've forgiven them, you're the prisoner that you're letting free. And they paint this idea that you forgive people only to free yourself. But anything that you do that's good only for selfish reasons does not really free you. It binds you in chains even further. Because what you'll start to do is say, well, I haven't really forgiven them, so am I really still bound. The reality is, we do not forgive to heal. I want you to listen to this point, and I sent it out. We do not forgive to heal. We forgive because we have been healed. This is so critical. You can want to forgive people, but until you've reached a place of healing, you haven't really forgiven them. You're just saying that you have. I know what it's like to hear people preach and teach about healing and talk about healing, and you got to do it. And so you sit down and you evaluate all the people you hate with their stinky feet and their bad breath. And I can't stand them with his stinking feet. I can't stand her with her bad breath. I can't stand what he did to me. And you go down this list, and then you say, now I want to forgive them. And so you sit and you say, I forgive them. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive this. And then you feel a little bit better. And then something happens to remind you, and you drive down the street one day and you realize all this hatred and anger and frustration is still here. And then you're mad and angry with yourself because you feel like you failed. And what's wrong with me that I can't forgive? The truth of the matter is, until you reach a place of understanding concerning whatever's happened that has made you hold on to these grudges and be angry and frustrated and bitter and all of these things, until you reach an understanding that brings peace and wholeness and inner healing. Listen, this is whether a person has changed or not. They can still be the same jerk or the same inconsistent, bitter, mean person that caused you all the pain. It's possible to heal without an apology. It's possible to heal without an acknowledgement. It's possible to heal before any of those things happen because of the place that you reach inside you of understanding. Most of our offenses and unforgiveness and anger starts with the why that we never get an answer for. And I really need that to settle. It's a why, a who, what, when, where that we don't have an answer for, that we don't understand, and it starts an offense. People hurt us and we don't know why they've done it, and we become angry and offended. And sometimes we think that our forgiveness and our healing hinges on them realizing it and apologizing. No, it's possible to get healing and wholeness and happiness without them ever reaching a place to where they acknowledge what they've done. So you start to forgive people, even if they're all the same, when you've gotten into a place of healing. And you will find as you heal, you'll start to forgive. You'll look for feelings that are no longer there. You may not even feel like you have to have a conversation anymore, where you tell them all how you feel and how you couldn't stand them and wanted to stab them and shoot them one day. Because some of us will sit down with these conversations where we call ourselves like, I just need to get this off my chest. Now, I don't hate you anymore, but there was a time I really wanted to set you on fire. Like I had went and bought gasoline and a flamethrower, and I was driving over your house. I was going to set everything on fire, including you. Like I was going to send you up in flames, like send you. But I don't feel bad anymore. I don't even want to do that. And lying. We sit down to vent and to tell them that we don't hate them anymore, but we really do. Guess what? It's possible to heal and not even have all those feelings and not even need to tell a person that you ever felt that way because it's such a thing of the past, or you have understanding concerning them. And so, listen, we don't forgive to heal. We forgive because we've been healed. You need to understand that. So if you know you need to forgive somebody, get into a place of healing. Follow what God is telling you to do. Listen, if it's a conversation He's told you to have it. That may be where your healing lies. But don't take it into your own hands. Consult God. Ask Him to help you and direct you, because He knows the heart of the people that you need to forgive. All right? As you come in touch with the real you, not the new you, you will find a passion for new pursuits. The reason that I say the real you and not the new you is because you've always been a good and real who you are. It's a matter of now you're discovering it. So this isn't the new me. No, this is the real me that I never knew before. As you come into this person, you will find a passion for new things that you pursue and you seek out. If you've been seeking out other things that don't really serve your purpose or your worth or your value or your healing or your wholeness, you'll find a passion for it. For those who have struggled to find a sense of purpose, you'll start to see you're drawn to things that serve your purpose. And you may not even know what your purpose is or what your call is or what you are gifted for. But you'll start to see that as you heal, you'll have an inclination to things that you may have pushed away from or that you put on the back burner. You'll start to see that dreams in your heart were put there by God and that it is time to fulfill them. And so with that comes that you may put away some hobbies or bad habits or things that have kind of kept you in a place to where you weren't fulfilled. Look for them. Embrace them. Start to sense what comes to you naturally, because this is for you, all right? Next, affirmations are the act of constantly agreeing with what you know to be true. In addition to reciting daily affirmations, it is a great practice to retain the notes to remember portion of this chapter. In this chapter, there are affirmations that I put up, daily affirmations for you to say. I also, there was a section called Notes to Remember, which was from a very close friend of me and my husband named Apostle Tony Housen, who lives in the United Kingdom, and he kind of reiterated on some things. But the daily affirmations are not just things that we say because they sound good, but it's almost like you're coming into agreement with what God thinks and feels about you and what you should think and feel about yourself. And don't just saying like, good morning, you. I am beautiful. I am special. You need to allow them to connect with who you are and what you're feeling as you say them, even if what you're saying is complete unbelief. That I just don't even believe these things and I'm saying them because I'm hoping at some point they take root. Listen, say them, add your own, change them. Whatever you know needs to be done for you to grow and change, do it. Be committed to your process. Do it until you believe it, until you trust that it's the truth. This has been such a phenomenal opportunity to do with you guys. I know that there are people who are watching these much later, maybe a year later, years later, as they read the book, because people are passing the book out and giving it to other people now that they're done. Listen, if you're done with your book, give it to somebody, loan it to somebody, send them to the website to buy it, and then tell them, hey, there's videos. Go to the videos, look at the videos, let them aid you and help you. Guys, it's been an honor and a pleasure. If for some reason you're watching this much later and someone gave you the book years later, I am still able to be reached via YouTube, all of your social media channels, Shaunee at prayersandpunchlines.com, ShauneeBrannan.com. Reach out to me if you have questions. It is an honor to serve. It's such a privilege to give. And I love the fruit that comes from it. So share your testimonies, guys. It's been a pleasure. We are done. Look out for the next book. I don't know what is coming, but it's coming. Because guess what? It's time. All right. See you later.